Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us for our weekend weather update and the outlook for next week. And we are monitoring the tropics. We think that a low pressure zone is going to drift down from around Vanuatu, right up here, and drop down towards the New Zealand area. At this stage, the South Island is more exposed to rain and wind from it than the North Island is, which is frustrating because the North Island desperately needs rain. If we don't get rain in 2 more weeks, I think we're going to be talking about droughts. So this rain is critical. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but that's the area where the low pressure zone is forming. The Fiji Met Service have backed down a wee bit on whether or not it becomes a cyclone, and so has Weather Watch. So it's not really about a storm that's forming, it's more about the rain that it's likely to produce. So that's the focus on this system. It's a rainmaker more than a wind maker. And then over in Australia, we've got some big stormy stuff up here to the north. In fact, a possible cyclone coming in for Broome in the next several days. But over New Zealand right now, it is settled. It's mostly settled under this big high pressure zone. So high pressure on this map seen in the white shading or yellow, and low pressure in the darker shading up here. So you can see where that low pressure zone is forming up in the tropics, and a lot of low pressure out over Australia at the moment as well. So let's take a look at that Vanuatu low. Here it is. It is starting to form. It's starting to get a little deeper. But like I say, the computer modeling isn't so sure if it's going to become an actual storm. The winds around it, the other day they looked like they'd get to gale force. Now it looks like it'll just get shy of it. But either way, the wind is not really the main feature with this system. It's the rain. So it's likely to come down into the New Zealand area in the next week or so. Now the Fiji Met Service, this is the area where they think it could form into a tropical cyclone, but they're only going with a 5 to 20% chance. Yesterday it was in the 20 to 50% chance, but like the computer modeling is showing, it doesn't quite look as intense. It looks like the energy is being spread out over a greater area. That reduces the wind, but doesn't reduce the rain. And so when you look here at the departure from normal, this is how much rain normally falls at this time of the year. You can very clearly see the tracking that this tropical system's about to go to. So just like with Cody kept moving eastwards. So if this system keeps moving eastwards, that is better news for the North Island. But right now, the North Island looks like it's going to miss most of the rain from this system. And again, it's the same setup. New Zealand's very narrow north to south. These systems, when they come in from north to south, it's very hard for it to directly come into New Zealand. You know, it's sort of like hitting the bullseye on the dartboard. So it takes a bit of skill for the storm to do it, or a bit of luck, or bad luck, depending on how you look at it. But basically, we need the rain from this low. So at the moment, it looks like it's going out to the west. But like I say, with Cody, we kept seeing that rain move further and further and further to the east. So fingers crossed, that's what we're about to see with this system. So here is the rainfall map for Saturday as we go into the weekend. Remember, it shows 24 hours of rainfall, so not much going on in the New Zealand area, in fact dry across the country. To the north, here is that tropical low forming around Vanuatu, the rainfall there around 100 to 150 millimetres forming, and all that low pressure around northern Australia very clearly seen there, and linking up with Victoria with more downpours in your area. By Sunday, the low has dropped further south now, and it's getting to the zone where if it hasn't formed into a cyclone by that point, it's probably not going to. It's just getting too far away from the tropics and getting into slightly cooler sea surface temperatures. Where it is at the moment, around about 30 degrees, 29, 30 degrees, but it drops down into the low 20s as you come into the North Island of New Zealand. Mostly dry on Sunday, but some wet weather just coming in here to the south, and some wet weather also coming in around Sydney. Now next week, this low gets a little deeper as it tracks out of the tropics. But like we say, whether it's a cyclone or not is not really the headline at the moment. It's more about the rain that it's going to be pulling down. So not much on Monday, mostly dry in New Zealand, still got that high pressure zone. And by the way, there is that tropical storm up around Broome. Once we get to Tuesday, the low falls into the Tasman Sea, or drops into the Tasman Sea, however you want to say it. This is what the computer modeling has been consistently showing for over a week now. So that's bang on track. Storm out here over Broome looks stalled, so that could be quite a significant issue for them. But in the New Zealand area, the only thing you'll notice on Tuesday are the nor'easters. That'll lift the temperatures up. So the overnight lows are going to be into the low 20s, by next week because of this system coming down. And our final map for Wednesday shows just how complicated this is, but also how the tropics are exploding now. We're getting into that time of the year. So this system drops down. Now, if it's like Cody, it might keep moving to the east, but it's all about that high. That high out to the east of the Chatham Islands is the controlling feature of this low pressure zone. It will decide if it goes into the Tasman and only into the South Island, or if it shrinks a little bit or moves a little bit to the east, suddenly the North Island is in the rainmaker. So we're going to get the same complaints that we got with Cody, that this was a fizzer and it's not happening. But as you can see, the rain is clearly coming down. Whether you get it at your house or not, that's a very different story. And by the way, once the system's finished, there's still a lot of energy up here in the tropics. That red line, that humid weather is coming straight down to New Zealand. That's the reason why Southland, which was 3 degrees this morning, is 17 degrees by next week. Your airflow is coming from north of Fiji, from the equator, from the tropics. So that is all from me. We'll update you again on Monday. For now, no storm coming for New Zealand, but it could be a bit stormy. There could be gale force winds and some heavy rain, but we've still got a number of days yet to work out who gets the wet weather, who misses out, because there will be some that miss out, and we'll get all of that info for you by our next video, which will be on Monday. No, it won't, sorry. It'll be on Tuesday. We've got Auckland anniversary. Gosh, I'm glad I remembered that. Otherwise, that'll be another set of complaints on YouTube. So we will see you on Tuesday, Auckland anniversary on Monday. We'll catch you on Tuesday. Have a great long weekend for those in the upper North Island, and I think it might be Nelson as well. And we'll see you back on Tuesday.